There goes that man's jock strap.
Oh my God, did you see that? America's team? Yeah, right.
Oh, baby, it's a big day in sports. There's nothing like battling it out with your teammates all season long to go win a championship. Green Bay's got it this year. Huge move for them. I think it's going to be a game changer.
We have a lot to talk about this busy week in the sports world. Welcome to the In a League of Their Own podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's NHL segment. Kind of picking up where we left off with the NBA, talking about the upcoming All-Star game, some of the captains, people that were in it. Talking about the All-Star game for this year, some of the snubs that happened. It's kind of some names to throw out there that, again, maybe not having the best year, but also they've always been there kind of thing. I'll start with the first one, Marchand, not getting picked for the All-Star game. Do you think that he should be there, given that I'll have to pull up his stats? I couldn't remember them off the top of my head, but looking at his stats, I think he had like 30 points or something so far. I don't remember what he has, but I'll pull it up. But kind of starting with him, do you think he's done enough this year to get himself into the All-Star game?
You said Sid and Marchand?
Yeah, Crosby, Marchand, and Jacob Markstrom are the three that I'm kind of like looking at as far as getting snubbed this year. Marchand has 21 goals, 25 assists, 46 points. And he is not in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely deserve to be there, but also at the same time, it's kind of the NHL does it differently than most of the other leagues. They really promote a lot of the young talent that they have. And speaking of which, I'm just going to read the names of just the first-time All-Star appearances. Jane Ketzel for Pittsburgh, Jack Hughes for the Devils, Adam Fox for the Rangers, Adam Pelech for the Islanders, all young guys. Nick Suzuki for the Montreal Canadiens, Rasmus Dahlin, former number one draft pick for Buffalo, Jack Campbell for Toronto, Nazem Kadri, Kirill Kaprizov, Cale Makar. Like, there's so many players. Timo Meyer, who just had 5 goals the other night. Mark Stone, this is his first. Troy Terry for the Ducks squad. Like, there's a lot of younger guys that they really like to promote. It's about promoting the young guys, and I hate the fact that they like to make sure that almost one guy from every team makes it. So I really dislike that.
Just because there's a handful of teams where it's like you don't really have anybody on your squad that deserves to be there.
Right. Like Montreal. Does anybody deserve to be there? No.
No. Suzuki.
Buffalo. Does anybody deserve to be there? No. And then it's like in the Central Division where you have people who decided to opt out. They had a new last man in voting this year. And Colorado's got 3 players, which is the most out of any team because of the fact that there were some guys that dropped out and didn't want to go. But yeah, definitely a snub for sure. But like I said, NHL, they kind of do it differently. It's about promoting the younger guys and seeing what they can do, especially they have the best all-star game out of all of them with a 3-on-3 round robin style tourney. And then the winning team splits $1 million. So I feel like that's a way to keep it competitive and not just one game. You win, you're done. You lose, you go home. Kind of like a full day of games and a lot of camaraderie between getting to talk to people throughout the rest of the league and for these families to intertwine. But yeah, Crosby deserves to be there. Marchand deserves to be there. New York Rangers goaltender Igor Shesterkin, he deserves to be there. Markstrom, I would agree with you as well.
Yeah, 15 and 10 with a 93% save percentage this year.
Yeah, and Shesterkin didn't make it. He's 16-4-2, 93.9 save percentage, 3 shutouts, and he's under 2 goals a game. And it's just like, do you not look at the standings?
Yeah. And as for Crosby, I mean, I'd say it's a down year for him. 11 goals, 23 assists, so 20 or 34 points to this point of the year. I mean, to his standards, I would say that's low. But again, look at LeBron, 18 straight All-Star appearances. Whether he has an up year or down year, he's there every year. And I think Crosby is kind of one of those guys. Crosby, Ovechkin, trying to think of another just kind of staple of hockey to where it's like you think of guys who are playing right now that deserve to be there no matter what. I mean, those are kind of the 2 guys who are left right now as far as
Steven Stamkos from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep, Stamkos, which I'm sure he's there. I didn't see his name off the list.
Yep, he is there. But it's like, oh, Tampa's got 2 players as well, 3 with the goalie. But Florida Panthers, Barkov, why isn't he there? Like, there are a lot of guys. Patrick Kane,
Marc-Andre Fleury, again, one of those guys who has done enough throughout his career where it's like they've earned enough respect that they should be there every year, so long as they don't shit the bed and have a terrible year.
or anybody on the actual Nashville squad, and not just your goaltender.
That's who they got in, was their goaltender?
Yeah, just their goaltender is the only one that got in.
Huh.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty funny how they do it. But I mean, I get it though. It's exposing the world to all the young talent that's going to be around for forever.
Yeah.
And you obviously throw in a handful of names who have legends.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then on to my question here. Edmonton Oilers, speaking of the Predators, they downed them last night 3-2 in a shootout. Do you think this Oilers team is now going to be poised to make a run now that they had the signing of Evander Kane? They've kind of turned things around. They're back to playing all the time and not on a break for 2 weeks off and then another 2 weeks. Do you think they have what it takes to make it to the playoffs? And do you see Evander Kane's impact the rest of the year? Do you think he hits 40 points over or under?
So right now they're 44 points, which puts them 6 points out, but they have seven games in pocket to the Ducks, 5 games in pocket to the Kings and Knights. Yeah, I mean, I think that they were able to stop their shit streak just in time. Had it gone another week, I think that they'd be too far out. Yeah, I think they were riding that fence a little too close as far as, I mean, 3-4 more straight losses would have probably been enough to keep them out. I mean, they still have ground to make up no matter what, but again, it helps that they have them in Calgary have the least amount of games played in the Pacific. But yeah, I mean, the teams that are ahead of them, I think that they can get past the Sharks. Calgary started out hot. They've kind of slowed down. And then you basically need, I mean, at that point you're looking at a wild card spot, but to secure a third spot in the Pacific to guarantee yourself a position in the playoffs. I mean, the only team I could see them catching would be LA. I mean, the Ducks have been playing good all year. They haven't really faltered. The Knights started a little slow and they've turned it on since. And the Kings are just kind of that team of why are they there? So it's like, okay, do they keep their momentum or do they eventually shit the bed? Yeah, I think they put themselves in a position to at least get a wild card spot. They still have a ways to go, but because I'm pulling up the wild card right now, well, it doesn't say it's available. But
The wild card right now would be with the games in hand that Calgary. Well, shit. It'd be the Wild and Dallas, Calgary, and the Sharks are all tied with 46 points, but the game differentials.
yeah,
So technically, it would be the Flames. It'd be the Wild and the Flames would be the wild card teams right now if it ended.
and then I mean Calgary again, 39 games, so they have games to make up, so they could be up there as well. So yeah, they get past the Sharks, they get past the Kings maybe, but also Calgary already has a 2-point lead with the same amount of games played. They got to bank on Calgary not playing well down the stretch. So that's three, 4 teams you got to bank on hitting a shit streak while you're on a good streak at some point during the year here. I mean, I think Edmonton makes it in as a wild card. I think it's going to be too tough for them to make a push for one of those top 3 spots, though, because they need XYZ things to go right for them to get up there at this point. But I don't know. And as far as Evander Kane, because what's he at right now? Has he scored a point yet this year?
No, he hasn't suited up yet. I don't know when he officially got cleared by the NHL today of his investigation from the gambling. So I would assume sometime in the next week or two, I would hope.
Yeah. I mean, 40 points doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're out there with Draisaitl and McDavid, who are competing with each other for points, I think he kind of plays as that like situational guy. He's not. I'll see him stepping in and trying to take over the team, run the show. I don't think he breaks 40 points, honestly. Obviously, he's going to have an impact. He's going to get his goals. He's going to do still one of the young studs, regardless of his track record the past year or two here. But I don't know, because I don't think if he goes above 40 points, 50 points, that means that McDavid and Draisaitl are kind of pulling back the reins and letting him kind of do his thing. If he starts this late in the year and then pops off and has that well of a season to finish out, I don't
Unless
think that
they're all
happens.
getting that many points.
Yeah. I
Because you
mean,
can have 3 points. 3 people can get points on 1 goal.
yeah. Yeah, I mean the Oilers, they could start putting up 5+ goals a game. That opens the door for all these guys to get multiple points a game too. But I don't know. I think he comes in and kind of takes the backseat role and lets these guys continue to do what they do. But obviously, still a great signing for them, and he's going to help turn that team around.
But so you did say they make the wild card?
Yeah, I said to get a wild card, and then Kane does not break 40 points.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that. I don't think he hits 40. He'd have to average over a point per game, which is hard to do. However, I see the Ducks, the team that's going to falter out of that top 3 in the Pacific, maybe even Vegas. I see Oilers in the playoffs in the top 3 in the Pacific. Yeah. It's kind of just my take.
Yeah.
They're about to turn it on at the right time. It wasn't too early. Like the Avalanche, holy geez, 30-8. Like Panthers 30-9, Hurricanes 29-9. Like, when are these teams gonna lose?
Yeah.
Like they're about to at some point. And looking at all the top teams, last 10, 8-2, 8-2, 7-2-1, 7-2-1, 7-2-1, 7-2-1, 9-0-1. And then you go to the Pacific. Vegas 3-4-3 in their last 10. Ducks 4-5-1. Kings 6-3-1. Flames 4-6-0. Sharks 5-4-1. Oilers 3-5-2. Like, that's going to be the crapshoot division of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just feel like they find a way to get their offensive firepower rolling and get her done.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching our NHL segment. Continue with us onto our PGA segment where we break down the first 2 rounds of the Farmers Insurance Open and we give you our winners for the weekend.